In other news overseas, Iran is renewing its warning to block a vital oil route in the Strait of Hormuz, a move that Washington is dismissing as a sign of weakness. With a quick look at a map, you can see that the Strait of Hormuz, the vital oil tanker pathway in and out of the Persian Gulf. The Iranians have threatened to close it. The threats, however, are having a disastrous effect on Iran's national currency. It reached a record low yesterday due to international sanctions. Seth Cropsey is a senior fellow with the Hudson Institute, a Washington policy research organization. He's joining us now. So, Seth, first, can Iran just block this strait?
It would be very difficult for them to do so. They would be stopped. Anything they did would be counteracted. Well, that's entirely up to how the president decides to respond. If he backs down and says that, well, we'll study the effect of the sanctions or the consequences, or we want 6 months to look at it, which is something that he can do in the legislation, then nothing's going to happen. If the sanctions go into effect, then the next move is up to the Iranians.
Or is it possible that the new president, whoever that might be, may just inherit this mess?
It is possible, yes, but when another country threatens the United States' freedom of passage in international waters and says it's not going to warn us again, that's not the sort of thing that can be postponed for a year.
Okay, so Obama's going to have to act. He is going to have to act on this, you're saying?
I think he will.
Is there more at stake here? Is this also about the missile defense shield in Europe? Iran does not like that.
Well, that's all part of the issue, but I think it's peripheral. The key issue is freedom of navigation in international waters. And that is a principle that the United States has maintained by diplomacy and by use of military force going back to the 18th century. It was part of the Revolutionary War. It was the reason why President Jefferson sent American naval squadrons into the Mediterranean against the Barbary pirates. It was part of the War of 1812, the idea being to defend the principle of navigation, safe navigation of international waters. It was part of World War I. Your viewers who remember the Gulf Sidra incident with between Reagan and Colonel Gaddafi, that was the same issue there. So it is really a fundamental principle of the United States foreign and security policy.
Okay, we continue to watch it. Seth Cropsey with the Hudson Institute joining us from Washington. Thank you.
My pleasure.